Good evening, everyone. I hope you and your family members are doing good and are in good health and good condition in the pandemic period. And I will be your presenter for this webinar. And it's the webinar title is Implementation of Lean and Agile methodologies in construction projects. So let's begin. Okay, now coming to the content part. First is introduction to lean methodologies, then agile methodologies, then importance of lean and agile methodologies in construction projects. Next one is the pros and cons of lean and agile. Then application of lean and agile methodologies in project management, basically the 10 knowledge areas. Then at last, we will be seeing that the softwares used for lean and agile project management, certifications and career prospects. Now coming to the first slide, that is the introduction to lean methodologies. Basically, there are 5 main principles of lean. First one is define value. Value is what the customer is willing to pay for. It is paramount to discover the actual or latent needs of the customer. Sometimes customer may not know what they want or are unable to articulate it. This is especially common when it comes to novel products or unique projects or technologies. So there are many techniques such as interviews, surveys, demographic information, and web analytics that can help us to decipher and discover what the customer find valuable. Coming to the next one, that is map the value stream. This is the second lean principle, which is used to identify and map the value stream. In this step, the goal is to use the customer's value as a reference point and identify all the activities that contribute to these values. Activities that do not add value to the end customer or client are considered waste. Okay, the waste can be broken into two categories, basically non-value added but necessary, and non-value and unnecessary. The latter, that is the non-value and unnecessary, is pure waste. Okay, and it should be eliminated, while the former should be reduced as much as possible. By reducing and eliminating unnecessary processes or steps, we can ensure that customers are getting exactly what they want, while at the same time reducing the cost of producing that product or service. Now coming to the third one, that is create flow. After removing the waste from the value stream, the action is to ensure that the flow of the remaining steps runs smoothly without interruptions or delays. Some strategies for ensuring the value adding activities flow smoothly include breaking down steps, reconfiguring the production steps, leveling out the workload, creating cross-functional departments, and training employees to be multi-skilled and adaptive. The fourth one is establish pool. The goal of a pool-based system is to limit inventory and work in process items while ensuring that the requisite materials and information are available for a smooth flow of work. In other words, a pool-based system allows for just-in-time delivery and manufacturing where products are created at the time that they are needed and just in the right quantities. Then pool-based systems are always created from the needs of the end customers or clients. Now coming to the last one, that is pursue perfection. Wastes are prevented through the achievement of the first 4 steps. Just we have seen the first 4 steps. Then, however, the 5th step, that is the pursue perfection, is the most important amongst them all. It makes lean thinking and continuous process improvement a part of the organizational culture. Every employee should strive towards perfection while delivering products or projects based on the customer needs. Now moving forward, coming to introduction to Agile methodologies. Agile is basically an iterative and incremental Pdca cycle. You can see in this figure, that is plan, do, check, and act. That is called the Pdca cycle. Okay. Now we have to plan the activities, execute those activities. Then we have to check the results for any non-conformities or defect. And after that, according to the results of the checking, we have to act in order to rectify any defects or into small and manageable sub-projects. Now, the figure on the right-hand side, this figure shows the iron triangle of projects. That is, in the traditional or waterfall project, this figure, the scope is fixed, cost and schedules are variable. Okay, but in Agile, it's the inverted iron triangle. That is, cost and schedules are fixed, but the scope is variable. Moving forward. Coming to the importance of lean methodologies in construction project. Now, according to a report by Global Construction Perspectives and Oxford Economics, Global Construction 2030 forecast the volume of construction output will grow by 85% to $15.5 trillion worldwide by 2030, with three countries, that is China, US, and India, leading the way and accounting for 57% of all global growth. So you can imagine the opportunity that is coming in our way in the construction sector. Okay. So we should focus on the client and the value-added processes rather than the non-value-adding processes or activities in order to increase the productivity. Then lean helps in reducing the amount of waste in form of scrap and also helps in reducing the reworks. Lean also helps the organization to increase the efficiency of the workmen and equipment by optimizing the processes. It also helps in the organization to define and maintain specific standards for different activities and processes. Then again, it helps in reducing the cost of executing the projects by reducing the wastage and reworks. At last, Lean not only optimize the project execution, but also helps in improve the various methods and processes in a continuous manner. Moving forward. Now this figure is showing that 9 different lean principles which can be implemented in construction projects. Starting from the first, that is minimize the waste, time and effort. In order to minimize the waste, time and effort, Lean encourages to implement advanced technologies at project sites. For example, using automated welding machine in critical places provides better quality, reduce reworks, and also reduce the effort needed by reducing the manpower, skilled workers, etc. Lean helps in improving the safety at project sites by optimizing the methods of construction in many ways. Lean also helps in enhancing the productivity of workmen and equipment used at project sites by correctly allocating the activities to the respective resources and ensures the standard operating procedures, that is SOPs, are followed for each and every activities. Lean ensures that the required number of materials and consumables are in stock, but there should be no surplus stock of materials at project sites. Lean also helps in reducing the project cost by reducing the excess inventory, reworks, excess workman involvement for any project activity. In a construction scheduling context, just in time requires alignment and balance between project items that are considered long lead. That is, the materials taking comparatively longer time to be available at site after being ordered and those that are more readily available. So Lean maintain a balance between these two items. The JIT, that is just-in-time method, also requires that the suppliers and contractors collaborate at a higher level than in regular construction methods. And it requires that all project supplies are up to the standards. This helps to prevent project delays due to unusable materials and helps to ensure that contractors deliver a quality product or service with reduced defects and maintenance needs over the life of the product. Now coming to the prefabrication. Prefabrication helps in reducing the time for erection and also reduces the workman required. It improves the safety as most of the activities can be completed at the ground level and height work is minimized. Coming to the last one, that is pool scheduling. Pool scheduling is a collaborative approach to project scheduling. that takes a reverse approach of sequencing. This involves gathering team members to identify and isolate key project milestones. From there, the team works backward to add all the details and requirements to get an optimized schedule. This can be considered as reverse engineering the project. Now moving forward, coming to the importance of agile methodologies in construction project. Agile improves the labor productivity and measurement at project sites by dividing the entire project into various sub-projects, thereby narrowing down the planning and execution work. Agile helps in optimizing the job scheduling and planning by implementing iterative and incremental approach rather than the traditional waterfall approach. Agile also helps in optimizing the procurement management by correctly forecasting the required materials for completing the project on time. Agile improves the estimation accuracy by focusing on the limited number of tasks that has to be completed in a single iteration rather than focusing on the entire project tasks. Now, the last one, Agile helps in optimizing the project financial management by considering the limited number of project tasks or activities, implementing activity-based costing methods. Moving forward, now coming to the Agile values for planning. Agile focuses more on individuals and interactions than processes and tools. That is, the people involved in the project and the face-to-face interaction amongst them is more important than the processes and tools. Agile gives more stress to effective and efficient project planning rather than just maintaining comprehensive documentation of the project activities at site. Now, most of the construction company, whether it is a main contractor or a subcontractor, mainly focuses on the specifications and drawings only. But Agile encourages to cooperate with the customer or client also so that the scope creep can be avoided. Coming to the last one, contractors or subcontractors believe in focusing on a rigid and fixed plan for execution. You know that the companies, more or less the contracting company mainly believes that what is right, they have to be just do that according to the drawing and specifications, and what is the traditional approach, they will just follow that. Okay, but Agile encourages to break the status quo and embrace changes in the execution methods and processes so that we can be more ready to adapt to any changes. Now moving forward, these are the pros and cons of lean methodologies. Now coming to the pros, significant increase in the efficiency of different project activities, timely completion of projects in adherence to required quality and safety, reduction in the amount of reworks that causes cost and time overruns, yearly identification and mitigation of risks, increased productivity of workmen and equipment, reduction in wastage of material, and the last is enhanced growth and sustainability of the company. Now coming to the cons, reluctance of the workmen to adapt to new methodologies. You know, just I have said that the workmen are just they will be just adaptive to that traditional approach. They will not embrace the changes. So we have to guide them. We have to encourage them to adapt to the new methodologies, new advanced technologies. Okay, so these are the cons. Proper guidance and effective coordination is also required. Now coming to the pros and cons of Agile methodologies. The first is pros. Agile is suited for projects where the scope and the end product or services are not very clear. For example, we can take any unique project like Statue of Unity. It's a first of its kind project. So it is very much useful in those kind of projects. It is more adaptive to changes in project scope than the traditional or waterfall projects. Customer satisfaction is promoted as feedbacks and changes are embraced, and risk factors are reduced as early deliverables are made visible to the end users. Exhaustive planning is not required at the beginning of the execution phase, and excellent project control can be done using Agile methodologies. Coming to the cons, collaboration level is difficult to maintain. lack of training and awareness among the employees, then resistance to increased adaptability of changes in the project deliverables. Now coming to the next part, that is application of Lean and Agile methodology in project management. And we know that there are 10 knowledge areas. So we'll start one by one. The first one is project integration management. Now, Lean and Agile tools that are useful in assisting in this area are the followings. First one is continuous integration. The goal of continuous integration is to provide rapid feedback so that if a defect is introduced into the product or service to be delivered to the client, it can be identified and corrected as soon as possible. Thinking of this approach as a concept applied to service model is valuable if the project management manager is anticipating many decision points in the project. The second one is value stream mapping. The focus of this tool is on identifying and eliminating the non-value added activities in each process steps and reducing the wait time between consecutive steps wherever possible. Value enabling activities, however, cannot be totally eliminated from a system. Third one is takt time. Takt is a German word that can be roughly translated as beat. Takt Takt time is the rate at which a completed project needs to be finished in order to meet customer demand. For processes involving cycle times, such as manufacturing or incident management, the as-is cycle time can be captured. Now coming to the fishbone. The fishbone diagram takes the approach of putting the problem in the head of a fish diagram and using the fish bones to depict the major contributors. It is basically a root cause analysis method, and the 5 whys are a verbal exercise in which the questions why is asked 5 times. Now the next one is Pdca cycle, which is already discussed in the introduction to Agile methodologies. Now moving forward, second one is the project scope management. It's another knowledge area. So in lean and traditional project management, the scope has been defined in a specification document, such as a project charter. Whereas in agile project, as with traditional approaches, the scope defines what is to be designed and delivered. There are several differences. For example, Agile is concerned with things such as timing, attitude, and high-level requirements. Agile scope is a continual conversation. Okay, Agile change management is used to facilitate change. Now, scope refers to the detailed set of deliverables or features of a project. These deliverables are derived from a project's requirement. Project scope is the part of project planning that involves determining and documenting a list of specific project goals, deliverables, tasks, costs, and deadlines. Moving forward, some tools in the lean include the following. First one is critical to quality, CTQ. CTQ is anything that is important to be the successful of the project and could include critical to speed, critical to cost effectiveness, or critical to success of the project. CTQs can be developed from a stakeholders analysis. Once stakeholders are recorded, the project manager can go directly to the stakeholder and determine what is important to the stakeholders. This information will become CTQs along with customer requirements. Next one is voice of customers. The voice of customers, VOC, is the term used to describe the stated and unstated needs or requirements of the customer. Methods included a direct discussion, interviews, surveys, focus groups, and even complaint logs. Other methods include warranty data, field reports, and customer specifications. The voice of customer is critical to the project and to determining the validity of the CTQs. The third one is Cpoc. You might have heard about it, that is supplier, input, output, process, customer. Now, it is generally used to help identify all the people and things that should be considered before starting a project. By considering the areas in the Cpoc diagram, it can be determined all the stakeholders that need to be considered and all the resources that will be required to complete a project. A Cpoc may be used as a problem-solving tool. Moving forward. Now coming to the third knowledge area, that is project schedule management. This is one area in which both Lean and Agile can benefit from adopting traditional time management approaches and practices. Project schedule management is dynamic and often requires input from the team. Therefore, some of the communication tools used in Lean may be beneficial. This includes items such as a data collection plan outlining who will collect the data, when the data will be collected, and how frequently it will be collected. Schedule control is an important factor. Now, Agile uses Scrum meetings to manage the day-to-day activities so that there will be no surprises in the project ahead of it. Daily stand-up meeting is normally a 15 minutes meeting in which the project manager and the site in charges of all project sites can have a discussion while standing at the site. The meeting focuses on three main aspects, that is, what was planned yesterday, how much it is achieved, how and what are the obstacles basically in not achieving the target. Okay. The next is sprint planning. Sprint planning is basically short-term planning. That is, the project team can only plan for the activities that have to be completed in a particular day. This can enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of the manpower and resources allocation. Sprint retrospective is a short-term meeting, usually of 1 hour duration, which helps to find what activities and things in the sprint is doing well, what activities should be continued, and what more can be done to improve the next sprint to be more effective, efficient, and productive. Now, moving forward, the next knowledge area is project cost management. Now, cost management encompasses several specific functions of project management, including estimating, job controls, field data collection, scheduling, accounting, and design also. Now, lean tools focus on reducing waste, which by default will reduce cost, giving the project management manager more flexibility. A company with effective cost reduction activities in place will be better positioned to adapt to shifting the economic conditions. The most helpful things from Lean in this area is the team woods model. We'll look into that. This is also known as the 8 areas of waste. Concentrating on each one of these areas, if they apply to the specific project, will allow the project manager to determine if waste in the project is present and can be reduced or eliminated. Now, Agile welcomes change, and that applies to budgeting as well. The most helpful Agile practice in relationship to cost management is that it combines cost and schedule performance on one shift and helps control the entire project. Moving forward, now this is the T modes. It's a way to remember the 8 areas of waste. Basically, these are the waste, that is the T transport, and then these are the elements involved in the transportation, moving people, products, information. Then I for inventory, then M for motion, then waiting, overproduction, overprocessing, defects, skills. Now coming to the next one, that is project quality management. This is an important knowledge area, and it's very important for the project success as well. In Lean, quality management is the act of overseeing all activities and tasks needed to maintain a desired level of excellence. This includes creating and implementing quality planning and assurance, as well as quality control and quality improvement. It is also referred to as total quality management, that is TQM. Lean's definition of quality encompasses the entire organization, and quality initiatives and practices are on an enterprise-wide level. Lean, Agile, and traditional project management all agree that the true test of quality rests on three major concepts: customer satisfaction, prevention, and customer interaction. Lean excels in prevention and Agile excels in detection, being able to change before an error is made. Both Lean and Agile are committed to continuous improvement as it is a part of their methodologies, whereas traditional project management does not typically sponsor improvement or even sustainability models. Moving forward, Agile favors making small incremental changes and leaders who walk the talk. Lean favors fire prevention as opposed to firefighting. Both Lean and Agile promote shifting to a long-term mindset as opposed to focusing on a single project. Moving forward, the next knowledge area is the project resource management. Project human resource management is focused on the project team and its organization, management, and leadership. It is defined as the processes that organize, manage, and lead the project team. Now, major concepts include, but are not limited to the following: make an effort to meet face to face regularly. We should meet face to face in front of means not by just virtual meetings. Now the time is not good, so that's why we're just meeting in online. But we should do face to face meeting. Now it allows people to hear you talk. It should also give them an opportunity to ask questions, seek clarification, share opinions with the management. In other words, to ensure our face-to-face communication is more effective, make it a two-way communication. Be accountable by measuring, adjusting, and reassessing. Encourage people to speak in an organizational context, making it safe, comfortable for individuals, especially those in less powerful position to speak up. This ranges from raising issues to questioning the authority. Moving forward, we should deploy the right person for the right job. As you can see in the figure, use your resources effectively, efficiently, and economically. So, if we deploy the right person for the right job, then the job can be done effectively and efficiently. We should deploy the right talent for a job so that the person can complete the job without any reworks, thereby making the project more economically efficient. Moving forward, the next, that is seventh knowledge area, is project communication management. Communication is an important aspect in project management and in the success of project also. Lean, similar to traditional project management, favors customary project communication plans and depends primarily on the project plan done using a work breakdown structure, that is WBS. Whereas the WBS is supplemented by short or summarized communication. The basis of the communication is the documented project plan. The communication plan is still different than the WBS, or what some environments may call the rollout plan, in the sense that it communicates the roles of the individuals and the plan's purpose. This normally would include goals and objectives as well as the kickoff plans. Unlike traditional waterfall methods, roles and responsibilities in Agile terms are distributed equally among all the members of a project. This makes for a flatter environment. This makes communication plans drastically different than those in traditional project management. But the positive thing is that at any given point in time, if the agile communication is being run true to the theory, a scrum master or project manager knows exactly where the project is as far as the time and cost baselines are concerned. Now, moving forward, the next knowledge area is project risk management. This is also a very important aspect in the project management, as the risks are involved in every project. So we should and we must deal the project risks very much effectively. Okay. In traditional project management, attention is paid to documenting the areas and watching via manual or computerized checklist. Risk management issues are recorded in a log and monitored. In Lean, more attention is given to Cpoc or error proofing. Basically, the system concentrates on building risk management into every step of the process. Defects occur when the mistakes are allowed to reach the customer. So this system eliminates issues on the spot. In other words, sometimes something that goes wrong is not handled the next day, but in real time, whenever possible. Or you can say that as early as possible. Another train of thought used by Lean and Agile is the theory of constraints, that is TOC. This theory claims that because there is always at least one constraint or obstacle in a project, attention should be dedicated to brainstorming the events and then taking each constraint and exploiting it so that it becomes an asset instead of a liability. Agile uses iterative and incremental cycles to identify the risks involved so that well in agile identify the risk involved well in advance so the correct measures can be taken along with the effective planning of contingency reserves. Okay, so many agile practices look to identify and mitigate the risk throughout the project so that the project will not undergo cost and time overruns, which is a major issue in the construction projects. Moving forward, now the figure shows four ways to deal with the risk: mitigate, transfer, avoid, and accept. Now, mitigate the risks by implementing suitable measures, then transfer the risks to a third party, for example, to an insurance company, avoid the risks by proper planning and forecasting measures, and at last, if we can't do these three things, mitigate, transfer, or avoid, then we have to at last accept the risks and act accordingly. Coming to the next one, that is ninth knowledge area, this project procurement management. Lean improves the overall processes of procurement by reducing the unnecessary item, thereby reducing the unnecessary inventory and related storing costs. In agile environments, specific sellers may be used to extend the team. This collaborative working relationship can lead to a shared risk procurement model where both the buyer and the seller share in the risks and reward associated with a project. Moving forward, larger projects may use an adaptive approach for some deliverables and more stable approach for other parts. In these cases, a governing agreement such as the Master Services Agreement, MSA, may be used for the overall engagement with the adaptive work being placed in an appendix or supplement. This allows changes to occur on the adaptive scope without impacting the overall contract. The last one is the project stakeholder management. This is the last knowledge area. And it is also very important because stakeholders are the most important aspect in any project. They can be influencing the project in a positive or negative way. So we should maintain, we should coordinate with them properly, effectively also. To facilitate timely, productive discussion and decision making, adaptive teams engage with stakeholders directly rather than going through layers of management. Often the client, user, and developer exchange information in a dynamic, co-creative process that leads to more stakeholder involvement and higher satisfaction. Regular interactions with the stakeholder community throughout the project mitigate risk, build trust, support adjustments earlier in the project cycle, thus reducing costs and increasing the likelihood of success for the project. In order to accelerate the sharing of information within and across the organization, agile methods promote aggressive transparency. Moving forward, the intent of inviting any stakeholder to project meetings and reviews or posting project artifacts in public spaces is to surface as quickly as possible any misalignment, dependencies, or other issues related to the changing project. For example, if you consider in a high-rise building project, there will be civil engineers, mechanical engineers, and electrical engineers involved. So they all should be involved in the project from the initiation phase itself rather than waiting for the work to be commenced. So if you will be in a traditional approach, then the mechanical people will say, first of all, let us the civil engineers finish their job, then we will be involved in the project. The electrical engineers will say, the mechanical work is still balanced, so what we will be doing in the project. So first of all, let us finish their job. After that, we will be involved in the project. This is not a good practice actually. Now, the last slide is the softwares used for Lean and Agile project management, certifications, and career prospects. The softwares used for Lean is Minitab. If some of you have done the Lean Six Sigma courses, then you must have heard about it. And Microsoft Excel, it's everyone knows about it. Then software used for Agile, Microsoft Project, the latest version, that is the 2019 version, is useful in Agile project management. Then Jira, Rike, Agile, Lean Kit, Kanban, Pivotal Tracker. I will be not going in details about these softwares, and these are very vast and they will take more time. And certifications for Lean will be Lean Six Sigma Green Belt, then Six Sigma Black Belt, Master Black Belt. Certifications for Agile include PMI ACP, that is Agile Certified Practitioner, then CSM, Certified Scrum Master. Now, career prospects in Lean is like consultants, senior consultants, career prospects in Agile, Agile project manager, Scrum Master, etc. Okay, that's it.